Have you ever wondered how some people seem to have an uncanny ability to influence others? It's as if they possess a hidden knowledge, a deep understanding of the human psyche that allows them to effortlessly persuade and manipulate. While some might attribute this to charisma or natural talent, there's often a darker undercurrent at play, the realm of dark psychology. In this exploration, we'll delve into 5 powerful tactics employed in dark psychology, shedding light on the mechanisms that make them so effective. Stay with me until the end, as we'll not only uncover these techniques but also discuss their implications and ethical considerations. The principle of reciprocity is deeply ingrained in us. It's the idea that when someone does something for us, we feel obligated to return the favor. This is a fundamental aspect of human interaction, fostering cooperation and building social bonds. However, this very principle, so vital for societal harmony, can be twisted and exploited for malicious ends. Imagine this: someone offers you a seemingly harmless favor, perhaps a small gift or an act of unsolicited assistance. You might accept it out of politeness, not thinking much of it, but beware, this seemingly innocuous act can be the first step in a calculated manipulation. By creating a sense of indebtedness, even if artificially manufactured, the manipulator sets the stage for future exploitation. They might then call upon this manufactured debt, demanding a favor in return, often disproportionate to the initial offering. The insidiousness of this tactic lies in its subtlety. You might feel compelled to comply, driven by an ingrained sense of obligation, even if you recognize the imbalance. This is reciprocity misuse in action, a perversion of a fundamental social principle. Think about those free samples at the supermarket. They're not just about letting you try a new product. They're about triggering that sense of obligation, making you more likely to purchase something you might not have otherwise. Or consider those free trials for online services, often designed to hook you into a subscription you might not want once the free period ends. The misuse of reciprocity is everywhere, woven into the fabric of our consumerist society. It preys on our inherent desire to reciprocate kindness, turning it into a tool for manipulation and profit. Recognizing this tactic is the first step in defending yourself against it. Be wary of unsolicited favors, especially those that seem too good to be true. Remember, true reciprocity is about mutual benefit and genuine goodwill, not calculated manipulation. Don't let this fundamental principle be weaponized against you. Stay vigilant and don't fall prey to the debt you didn't sign up for. Fear, that primal emotion, has a profound influence on our actions. It can be a powerful motivator, driving us to avoid danger and seek safety. But this same force, so essential for survival, can be harnessed and wielded as a weapon of manipulation. This is the realm of fear-based motivation, where anxiety is stoked and exploited to control behavior. The tactic is simple yet devastatingly effective. First, a threat is identified or fabricated, something that triggers fear and anxiety in the target. This could be anything from the fear of losing a job to the fear of social ostracism, or even the fear of physical harm. The manipulator then presents themselves as the solution, the only refuge from the impending danger. They might offer protection, guidance, or a path to avoid the looming threat. But this offer of salvation comes at a price: obedience, compliance, and often a blind trust in the manipulator's authority. This is how fear becomes a tool of control. The target, consumed by anxiety, becomes susceptible to suggestion, willing to do almost anything to alleviate their fear. Think about the rise of demagogues throughout history, figures who exploit societal anxieties to gain power. They paint a picture of a world teetering on the brink of chaos, plagued by internal and external threats. They then present themselves as the strong leader, the only one capable of restoring order and security. This is fear-based motivation on a grand scale, a tactic as old as civilization itself. But it's not just political figures who employ this tactic. Advertisers use it to sell products, playing on our insecurities and anxieties. They tell us we're not thin enough, not attractive enough, not successful enough, then offer their product as the solution to our perceived inadequacies. Fear-based motivation is everywhere, a pervasive force shaping our choices and behaviors. Recognizing this tactic is crucial for reclaiming your autonomy. Don't let fear be used against you. Question the source of your anxiety and challenge the solutions being presented. Remember, true security comes from within, from a strong sense of self and a commitment to rational thought. Don't let fear be the puppet master of your life. Gaslighting is perhaps one of the most insidious and psychologically damaging forms of manipulation. It's a tactic designed to undermine a person's perception of reality, making them doubt their own sanity and judgment. This is not about outright denial or blatant lies, but rather a subtle and persistent erosion of someone's sense of self. The term gaslighting itself originates from a 1938 play, Gaslight, where a husband manipulates his wife into believing she's going insane. He dims the gas lights in their home and then denies any change in illumination, causing her to question her own perceptions. This psychological manipulation tactic has since become synonymous with the act of making someone doubt their own reality. So how does gaslighting work? It's a gradual process, often starting with seemingly insignificant actions. The manipulator might deny or downplay events, contradict the victim's memories, or offer alternative explanations that cast doubt on the victim's version of reality. Over time, these seemingly minor distortions accumulate, creating a web of confusion and self-doubt. The victim, bombarded with conflicting information and constantly second-guessing themselves, starts to question their own sanity. They might become withdrawn, anxious, and overly dependent on the manipulator for validation. This is the ultimate goal of gaslighting, to break down a person's sense of self and make them completely reliant on the manipulator's distorted version of reality. Gaslighting can occur in various contexts, from romantic relationships to workplaces and even within families. It's a tactic often employed by those seeking control and power, using psychological manipulation to dominate and subjugate. The damage inflicted by gaslighting can be profound, leaving lasting scars on the victim's psyche. Recognizing gaslighting is the first step in breaking free from its grip. Trust your instincts, document your experiences, and seek support from others. Remember, your perception of reality is valid, and you have the right to assert your own truth. Don't let anyone dim your light or distort your sense of self. Words have power. They can inspire, inform, and even incite. But words can also be weaponized, used to manipulate and deceive through subtle persuasion. This is the realm of loaded language, where words are carefully chosen to evoke specific emotions and influence perceptions. Loaded language operates beneath the surface of conscious awareness. It's not about overt threats or explicit commands, but rather about framing information in a way that subtly shapes our understanding. This is achieved through the use of emotionally charged words, carefully crafted phrases, and strategic omissions, all designed to nudge us towards a particular conclusion. Think about the difference between these two statements. The politician is a strong leader versus the politician is a ruthless tyrant. Both statements convey information about the politician's character, but the words used evoke vastly different emotional responses. This is the essence of loaded language, using words to paint a picture, to create a narrative that aligns with the manipulator's agenda. Loaded language is pervasive in our world. It's used in advertising to make products seem more appealing, in political discourse to sway public opinion, and even in everyday conversations to influence the perceptions of others. It's a subtle art, often operating below our conscious radar, but its impact can be profound. Consider the use of euphemisms, those seemingly innocuous words used to soften the blow of harsh realities. Collateral damage sounds less jarring than civilian casualties, downsizing less alarming than mass layoffs. Euphemisms are a form of loaded language designed to make unpleasant realities more palatable. Recognizing loaded language is crucial for critical thinking and independent judgment. Pay attention to the words being used and question the underlying assumptions and emotional appeals. Don't let language be used to manipulate your perceptions or cloud your judgment. Remember, words have power, and it's up to us to discern their true intent. We are emotional beings. Our feelings shape our perceptions, influence our decisions, and drive our actions. This emotional core, while essential for our humanity, also makes us vulnerable to manipulation. This is where emotional trigger exploitation comes into play, a tactic that preys on our deepest vulnerabilities to control behavior. Emotional triggers are those deeply ingrained associations, often stemming from past experiences, that evoke strong emotional responses. These triggers can be anything from fear and anger to guilt and shame, and they can be activated by specific words, images, or situations. Manipulators skilled in dark psychology understand the power of these triggers, and they use them to their advantage. The tactic involves identifying a target's emotional triggers, then deliberately activating them to elicit a desired response. This might involve reminding someone of a past trauma, using guilt to evoke compliance, or stoking anger to incite aggression. The manipulator, like a puppeteer pulling at emotional strings, seeks to control the target's behavior by manipulating their emotional state. Think about a manipulative partner who uses guilt to control their significant other. They might remind them of past sacrifices, evoke feelings of indebtedness, or threaten to withdraw affection if their demands aren't met. This is emotional trigger exploitation in action, using guilt as a weapon to achieve compliance. Emotional trigger exploitation is a powerful and insidious form of manipulation because it bypasses rational thought. When our emotions are running high, we're less likely to think critically and more susceptible to suggestion. This makes us vulnerable to those who seek to exploit our emotional vulnerabilities for their own gain. Protecting yourself from emotional trigger exploitation requires self-awareness and emotional intelligence. Understand your own triggers and be wary of those who seem to deliberately activate them. Don't be afraid to assert your boundaries and seek support from trusted individuals who can offer an objective perspective. Remember, your emotions are valid, but they shouldn't be used as weapons against you. As we've explored, the tactics of dark psychology are powerful and often unsettling. They offer a glimpse into the darker aspects of human nature, revealing the potential for manipulation and exploitation that exists within us all. Understanding these tactics is not about condoning their use, but rather about empowering ourselves to recognize and resist manipulation. If you found this exploration insightful, please consider liking this video, leaving a comment, and subscribing to the channel for more content on the complexities of human behavior. There's much more to uncover, and your engagement helps us delve deeper into these fascinating topics. For further understanding of dark psychology, I recommend exploring related videos and resources. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to navigating the shadowy realms of human manipulation. But remember, this knowledge comes with a responsibility. While understanding these tactics can be used for self-protection, it's crucial to remember the ethical considerations. Using these tactics for personal gain, to manipulate and control others, is a violation of trust and a betrayal of human decency. Let this exploration serve as a reminder that true power lies not in manipulation and control, but in empathy, understanding, and the pursuit of genuine human connection.